Lassiter Factor.
What's up, all my movie-loving maniacs? This is your boy Bankful B of the Lassiter Factor, and today I'm going to talk about The Running Man, which was released in theaters over the weekend. I went to the theater to go see it, so let's review. So The Running Man is not a remake of the 1987 film starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, but just a new adaptation of the book written by Stephen King. And most of you probably know this story. You know, it takes place in a dystopian future in which people play these ridiculous games for money. Either you survive or you don't, or you just lose. Ben Richards needs some money for his sick daughter, so he enters this game called The Running Man, in which he goes on the run for 30 days and is being hunted. And if he survives, he wins some money. But if he don't, then hey. Right off the bat, I just watched the original movie for the first time and did a review of it. Check it out, it's on. But I have never read the book, so however I feel about this new adaptation, if it doesn't align with how you feel about it, then hey, that's fine. Just be respectful about it. Like the original Running Man, not over the moon about it. Granted, maybe if I had seen it much earlier in my life, I would have appreciated it more. But generally speaking, it's just a fun 80s movie starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Arnold definitely carried that movie. How I feel about this new movie, hey, look, either it's recency bias or just me watching the original movie for the first time, or from what I've heard, this movie is a lot closer to the book than the original. But I kind of like this movie just a tad more than the original. Though I really was having a lot of fun with how entertaining this movie was from start to finish, especially once he really starts running. And I also appreciated the social commentary this movie had. Well, it was present in the original film and I guess in the book, but I feel like there's more emphasis on it, in which it talks about how misinformation can manipulate audiences through game shows or just TV and the news. It has something to say about classism. How this movie is directed by Edgar Wright, who has made some movies that I've enjoyed, and he does add his comedic flair to it, and it definitely works here. It doesn't always land at times, but I felt it worked here. That's one of the things I like about this movie over the original is the fact of, Ben Richards in the original played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was just somebody working with the law, and then he gets framed. Whereas with here, it feels like there's some actual stakes in which he has a sick daughter, she is dying, and he doesn't care about nothing else. He just wants money to cure his sick daughter. The cast all did excellently. Glenn Powell, while he is no Arnold Schwarzenegger, he did bring his own little flair to the movie, which I did appreciate, and he is so damn charismatic, hence why he is on the come up with movies lately. Mingo was a joy to watch. He's basically the host of The Running Man, and every time he came on screen, I was locked in. Josh Brolin, he's good at most things, but here he's just your typical evil executive. Nice to see Jamie Lawson, who I just saw again in Sinners, playing Pearline, and it's nice to see her to still get work. I hope she continues to get work, and this was a nice little gig for her. Things I wasn't a particular fan of was the pacing. I mean, this movie does clock in a little over 2 hours. I felt this movie does kind of overstay its welcome, particularly when it got to the ending, which is something that I am a bit split on. I feel like the movie was starting to come to its natural conclusion, but then it just started to continue to keep going. And I'm like, wait a minute, we ain't done yet. There are some characters that I guess were in the book and in the original movie that don't even show up until almost the climax of the movie. I'm not going to spoil it here, but once you see, you'll know who it is. And I just felt like this character kind of got the short end of the stick. Like I said, I really enjoyed this movie for what it was. And if you disagree with me on liking this movie, one of the original, again, I totally understand. I just ask that you be respectful about it. Definitely not saying this is a perfect movie. I'm just saying this movie entertained me from start to finish, and that's all I could ever ask for. I'm going to give The Running Man a thumbs up emoji. Thank y'all so much for watching. Have you seen the new Running Man? And so let me know what you think in the comments section below. This is your boy Bankful B of the Lassiter Factor. Stay safe, wash your hands, peace.